I'm in the Lion King anniversary garden and they're about to burst into song right here. My favourite experience at the flower show is always the floral rose arch. What I love about this space, it feels like an oasis away from the hustle and bustle of everyday busy life. Walking through the gate, this part of the garden is more robust and rugged, but equally interesting. This garden is called Match Point. After a busy day of tennis, the idea is you can come into this beautiful clubhouse. If you like fruit, there's strawberries and cream, or a lovely Victoria sponge over there. This is called the Way of St. James, the patron saint of Spain. Sure smells lovely in here. I think these are beautiful summer jasmines. Can't get enough of them.
When I was a kid growing up in the Middle East, there was a game I used to play called the Oregon Trail. Here at the flower show, it kind of feels as if I'm also on the Oregon Trail in this garden by Oregon. Haha! Now, what's really cool is they've got a lovely list of plants and flowers that are available and can be seen over here on the garden. But for me, it's the water feature which really stands out because frankly, that's brilliant.
I'm here at the flower show because I absolutely love my gardening, and for me it's all about that escapism, it's getting back to nature. So I absolutely love coming here to get loads of ideas that I can take back to my garden. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it look quite like the gardens here, but that's the inspiration. So I've got lots of photos of just the amazing creativity on show here, which I always just think is so special.
Oh no, 100% agree. What's been your highlight so far?
I just think seeing it in all its entirety, and I know how much hard work goes into these gardens. I've just been chatting to Anya, who's on the Money Saving Garden, and she is an inspiration to me. I follow her on Instagram, and the way that she takes cuttings from plants and talks you through step by step how to do it. And you can actually take plants that you have in your garden and you can use them to grow more plants. And I think things like that are really clever gardening tricks. So I think it's great when you can make the most out of the garden that you have at home. It's not necessarily all about going out and buying expensive plants, but there are ways of being able to make sure that you grow the plants that you have and are able to produce more from that and actually make the most of your garden.
No, that's amazing. Oh, I need to pop over there next.
I know, you do. Go and see her.
Thank you very much. I understand you're launching a new type of rose today.
Yes, I'm Francesca from Harkness Roses, and today we're launching the Alfred Robert Bow Rose in aid of Brain Tumour Research. So this rose came about as we have a relationship with Alfie Bow, and really sadly Alfie lost his dad to a brain tumour when he was really young. So talking to Alfie, we basically decided that we wanted to try and help him raise some money for the charity. So Alfie picked this beautiful rose just here to be named after his dad. And I mean, this rose is absolutely beautiful. Have you smelt it?
Yeah.
It's got a really lovely fragrance. And it's so interesting because while it looks really apricot-y here, throughout the season it can really change. So it can be apricot-y, it can really change into a very pink kind of rose. So you get quite a lot out of it. It's also a floribunda variety, so you get lots and lots of lovely heads. The more you deadhead and you feed it, the more you're going to get from your rose.
Okay.
So it's a really lovely variety.
Amazing. So what do you feed it to get more roses?
So, I mean, you can feed it multiple different things. You can get all sorts of different things from garden centres or whatever. We use something called Uncle Tom's Rose Tonic.
Oh.
That can be really helpful, but to be honest, they love tomato feed.
Oh,
so if you've got tomato feed at home, the roses love it.
There you go, there's a tip for the day. Explain why we've got 5 vases with roses in here.
Yep, so my name's Liam Bedell, I'm Senior Rose Consultant for David Austin Roses, and we've put these 5 different roses out today to talk about the 5 different fragrance groups. So one of the big things we hear in the modern world is that roses aren't fragrant anymore, which is absolute rubbish. Of course they are. but people need to understand and learn a bit about what they're smelling.
Okay.
So there's 5 different fragrance types.
Okay.
The first one that's most accessible is probably this one, which is the Old Rose fragrance.
Right.
This is the Old Rose fragrance. This is Gertrude Jekyll, one of the most accessible fragrances. It has a very sort of heady, sort of Turkish delight type fragrance.
So
Really
nice.
warm,
Yeah.
like you would get from your grandma's garden when you made rose petal water. So that's very accessible to most people.
Okay.
They know what that smells like.
Yeah.
Then we have the fruity fragrance. When you get fruity fragrances, that's all the sort of apples, guavas, lychees, pineapples, strawberries, anything you can get from a greengrocer. And this is Gabriel Oak. And this has sort of quite a strong fruity fragrance,
Strange, but I can't smell it at all.
which is kind of the point, is that not everybody can pick up every fragrance type, so that's important.
Okay.
And then there's 2 other fragrance types that I'll talk about first. There's the tea fragrance. This is Vanessa Bell, and it's supposed to smell like a freshly opened packet of China tea.
Oh.
Not many people drink China tea anymore, so that can be tricky. But that's sort of quite a warm fragrance again, in that sort of tea highlight. Sometimes a bit of fruit in that, and you tend to find them quite a lot in the yellows and the apricots.
Lovely.
And then the other one here is the myrrh fragrance. Now this fragrance is actually quite specific to the English roses.
Right.
This is Septodial. And the myrrh fragrance is a bit like aniseed. It's quite warm. So give that one a smell.
I can smell that one.
So not everybody picks that up.
Yeah, it's
And
strange.
generally the myrrh and the tea fragrance are the ones that are more tricky to pick up. And I've introduced those 4 first because fragrance generally comes from the petals. So the more petals comes from the fragrance. You have to get up close and smell them. The only fragrance type that doesn't is the musk fragrance.
Right.
This one here has got a great name. This is Tottering by Gently. And it's got a musk fragrance, and that actually comes from the stamen. So that's quite light. But when you see those big ramblers, rambling rector, kifskate in a tree, and you can smell it from several meters away, that's the fragrance you're smelling. So we put them all here today really so that people can come and appreciate each fragrance type uniquely, but also by comparison. It's just like wine tasting. You've got to taste and smell lots of different things to pick them up really.
I think it's fantastic. You've created a little oasis here. It's lovely. I think this tree particularly, it feels really wild, and it gives that sense of the places that people go on adventures. And you get lured in from sort of the arid lands, you're coming into more moist conditions, and then there is this beautiful, beautiful oasis. It's lovely. And you can look down here through the parched grill to these incredible plants that depend on a humid atmosphere. It's just lovely.
And I think this idea of a dry riverbed and kind of the themes around sustainability, very much about what Exodus is about. This is our 50th year, and it's our B Corp inaugural year. So
I think you'll have a lot of your customers will come here, and this will evoke memories of places they've been.
Yeah, I hope so.
Especially
definitely.
through the sounds as well.
Yeah.
Gents, perfect. And do either of you feel a bit scared or worried standing on top of this transparent space underneath us?
No.
I've been reliably informed that yesterday there were 16 judges stood upon this very stable thing. So two live young things like us will probably be fine.
I think we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning, beautiful design, and I just love the space. Really well done.
It is a beautiful garden. The designer has done a super job.
One of the great things about the flower show is a great taste market. Are there flapjacks over there?
I'm Martin. This is our Flapjackery stand. So I've got 19 different flavours of flapjack with me today. They're all gluten-free. We've got various awards ranging from Taste of the West Awards. We've got the Great Taste Award for our cottage cream fudge one there. As you can see, beautiful traditional flapjack base, some of our homemade beautiful clotted cream fudge, topped off with a white chocolate drizzle on that one. And then our complete range over here now. We've got 13 shops all in the southwest, and we're doing about 150 shows this year all over the country. So if you see us out and about, come and grab a flapjack.
Of course, on the preview day, not all of the stands in the Great Taste Market were actually open. However, those that were brilliant. From fantastic pasties to what has to be some of the tastiest fish and chips from a van. Imagine that. Well, nice indeed.
19th century plant migration on steamships like the Great Britain were possible because of this amazing invention here. So this is the Wardian case, and it was invented by Dr. Nathaniel Bagshaw Ward in 1829, and essentially it enabled the plants to survive the long ocean journeys with only being watered once every 60 days.
I've had a fantastic time at the RHS Hampton Court Palace Garden Festival. See you again soon.
Season over, season over, season over, season over. Siazaz, Robatina, Siazaz, Robatina, Siazaz, Robatina, Siazaz. Romantani soli boni langa, Romantani soli boni langa, Romantani. Tengiti no mantani soli boni langa, Romantani soli boni langa, Romantani. Solibon, 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 Sobona, Baba, Sobona, 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 Baba, Sobona, Come now,